you seen Ernest Cline reading his weird poetry? Who the f is Ernest Cline? Oh, this guy. Ready Player One author and fanboy Ernest Cline. He kind of sucks. He wrote Ready Player One. Also, Jesus Christ, I had no idea the person who wrote Ready Player One would be this on the nose, like visually speaking. You know what the most unrealistic part of Ready Player One is? The idea that everyone's online avatars would be like a bunch of copyrighted characters or whatever. It would literally be 1/3 Goku, 1/3 furry avatars, and 1/3 like anime girls who look like they're 9 years old. That's it. That's literally that would be all of it. You know? It'd be VR chat. It'd just be VR chat. So what's this about poetry? I looked up his poetry from him, and the first result came from r/just neckbeard things. Holy shit, I've been catapulted back to like 2014. Wow, holy shit, I'm gonna KMS. That's crazy. I read like one line of this. I've noticed there don't seem to be any movies that are made for guys like me. All the I've come across was targeted at beer-swilling, sports bar-dwelling alpha males. Men who like their women stupid and submissive. Men who can only get it up for monosyllabic, cock-hungry nymphos with gargantuan breasts and a 3-word vocabulary. I'm not sexist. I'm not sexist. Adult films are populated with these collagen-injected liposuction women. I'm not sexist. Many of whom have resorted to surgery and self-mutilation in an attempt to look the way they've been told to look. These aren't real women. They're objects. And these movies aren't erotic. They're pathetic. These vacuum-headed bunnies don't turn me on. What's the bit? Tommy need drinky? What an absolute crumb-custable day. And it's not that I'm against pornography. I mean, I'm a guy, and guys need fact. This is like the inner monologue of a rapist, you know? It's like Woody Allen syndrome, where guys who are extremely misogynistic use the fact that they're socially awkward as a cover for it. They think like, oh, real misogynists are like football players who women, you know, like they go to like frat parties and the girls. Not like me, actually. I'm not misogynistic. I just like write poems about how much I hate women and then talk about like, you know, like it's like poetry for people who think they're better than the college football rapist because they wait for the girl to have been passed out from the party and are called by the friend of the girl to pick her up, and then they rape her in the backseat of the car while she's still drunk from like getting drinks from Chad or whatever. Like that, literally, like that's the dynamic. Like a preacher needs pain, like a needle needs a vein, guys need porn. What? But I don't want to watch this misogynist He-Man woman hater porn. I'm not a misogynist, dude. Here's the, but men need porn. Men need, I hate women who have breast implants. I want porno movies that are made with guys like me in mind. Guys who know that the sexiest thing in the world is a woman who's smarter than you are. In case you've ever wondered why there was like a wave of media where all of the female characters were characterized by being like better than the men, but in an extremely shallow way and only in a way that's meant to pander to the fantasies of men. This is what, like, this is who wrote that, and this is who that's for. People like this are the worst stereotypical chauvinists or unironically better than this. Oh, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. In terms of vibes, I think most girls would take, like, a misogynistic alpha male football player over this guy. Easily. Even if you, like, level out the appearance factor, which is a very real consideration for people who write like this, you know? Motherfuckers with a square jawline do not type out shit like this. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You can have the whole cheerleading squad. I want the girl in the tweed skirt and the horn-rimmed glasses. Betty Finabowski, the valedictorian. Oh yes, first I want to copy her trig homework. I can't read this. This is like... This is like agonizing. Does everyone remember how in Ready Player One, the guy meets the girl in the VR chat thing, and she's beautiful in VR chat, and then when they're about to meet in real life, she's like, just to let you know, I don't look exactly like my online avatar, a thing that normal people would have to clarify. And then he's like, it's okay, I accept you no matter what you are. And she looks exactly the same, except she has like a birthmark on her face and she's slightly chubby, and the book is like, but she was a pleasant round, like a plump, like she wasn't fat, guys, okay? It was more like she just had some meat in her bones, but only in a way that you would find attractive, okay? None of the elements of her appearance detract from her beauty, okay? She was normal in a fat but sexy way. Like, she was really hot, but in like an unassuming way, and she had like really low self-esteem, so that the guy could be like, no, I find your extra 10 pounds of fat attractive, and she's like sniffling, and she's like, really? Thank you. My self-esteem was hinging on that. All this is real, by the way. Yeah, just enough chub to be insecure so the male hero can, like, run in and say, hey, I actually find girls who weigh over 120 pounds attractive. First, I want to copy her trig homework. Then I want to make mad, passionate love to her for hours and hours until she reluctantly asks if we can stop because she doesn't want to miss Battlestar Galactica. Summa cum laude, baby. That's what I call erotic. But do you ever see that kind of woman in a contemporary adult film? No. Which is why I'm going to start writing and directing geek porno. I shall be the quintessential nerd auteur, and the women in my porno movies will be the kind that drive How is this poetry? That drive nerds like me mad with desire. I'm talking about the girl. How long is this? In my kind of porno movies, the girls wouldn't even have to get naked. They just take the guys down to the rec room and beat them repeatedly at chess, then talk to them for hours about Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Me when my IQ is like in the middling 80s, but I want to think of like, what do smart people talk about? I know. Smart people talk about Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. You know this kind of guy, right? You probably met them in high school where they have no personality whatsoever and they're not really smart, but they're very invested in the idea that they're smart. So rather than actually have conversations, they just repeat topics that they think are interesting or like the kind of thing intelligent people would talk about, and they never shut the fuck up about them. Or the underlying social metaphors in the Aliens movies. Buy stock in some hand cream companies because there's about to be a major shortage. Oh, hold on, we're getting wokeness. And I'm not just talking about straight... Oh no, there should be fuck films for my nerd brethren of all sexual orientations. You guys are getting included. Gay nerd flicks with titles like Dungeons and Drag Queens. Quick, think of something gay people like. This idea is a gold mine. I'm going to make millions because this country is full of database programmers and electronics engineers, and they aren't getting database programmers and electronics engineers. Man, I love it when people are systems engineers and computer programmers. If you're an intelligent woman who's interested in breaking into the adult film industry, then you can tell me the name of Luke. And if you can tell me the name of Luke Skywalker's home planet, it doesn't matter if you... Oh, I love this. It doesn't matter if you think you're overweight or unattractive. Oh, so you can have low self-esteem about your appearance, but only if it's self-imposed, you know? Like, you have to be pretty, but we don't mind if you're insecure. It doesn't matter if you don't think you're beautiful. You are beautiful, and I will make you a star. That's great. This guy wrote a book that got turned into a Spielberg-directed movie. Gen Xers, man. Can I find, like, the passage from the book where he finds the girl in real life? Ready Player One, he meets the girl IRL passage. I don't know if, like, that's going to bring up... Oh my god, is this what her character looked like in the movie? In the movie, she was like, hey, just to let you know, I don't look like my online avatar in the VR chat. Okay, this is the girl who's insecure about her appearance. Because she has like a Zuko-esque birthmark around her eye. This is the girl. Can I find the passage from the book? I can't find it. It'll take me too long to find. I'm honestly without words. This is actually the least creepy Gen Xer, if you can believe it. Can you believe that? Who wrote this? Ernest Klein. Here. This is the guy who's going to make you famous, girls. It doesn't matter if you're insecure, okay? Line up. He's going to make you a smart girl star. Why do his legs look so short? Because he's wearing an oversized shirt that cuts his silhouette too low. This is like a 90s style. It's not a good one. Jinko jeans? No, the jeans aren't especially big. And not even remotely. You guys have no idea what Jinko jeans are. You guys say that anytime you see even, like, remotely oversized pants. You have no idea what Jinko jeans actually look like, okay? This, If you see jeans that look like this, you can call them Jinko jeans, all right? Search Rubenesque Ready Player One. Of course he would say Rubenesque! Oh my god. Of course he would say that. These forum posts. The book kind of pissed me off, actually. There's potentially cool, strong female character, Artemis, who's set up as superior to the protagonist, but is continually outdone by him for no real reason. I wonder if we can see, like, elements of this in the writing from that guy, where the woman being competent is, like, a superficial character, like meant to be an attractive, like, sexually enticing characteristic, but you wouldn't want to actually get upstaged by a woman, would you? She gets driven with a single mind and high motivation and is kind of just screwed over by the protagonist, who just seems to have nothing better to do. As the book progresses, her character degrades until she's nothing more than a trophy at the end. But I thought this guy was, like, super woke and feminist, you know? In the book, she's presented as a non-traditional, beautiful person. You know, she's, like, gorgeous. Like, the guy is valuable because he was able to bag a really hot chick, but she's not hot in, like, a traditional way. She's not hot, like, in a beach blonde, big, fake titty way. She's hot in, like, a, you know, beautiful librarian girl with 5 extra pounds of fat who just needs her glasses taken off kind of way. That's crazy. This is the only page the preview would give me from that part. Oh, fuck. This is, like... This is all it takes, man. I waited in silence, but she still wouldn't look up at me. You look just how I always pictured you, I said. Beautiful. Really? She said softly. Slowly, she turned to face me, taking in my appearance a little at a time, starting with my feet, then gradually working her way up to my face. When our eyes finally met, she smiled at me nervously. Well, what do you know? You look just like I always thought you would too, she said, but ugly. We both laughed as most of the tension in the air dissipated. Then we stared into each other's eyes for what seemed like a long time. It was, I realized, also the very first time. Plot stuff, stupid plot stuff. She starts to cry because she's a stupid girl. Okay, this doesn't have the Rubenesque part, unfortunately, but still. I think the tone is set pretty... Oh, page 366? Oh, shit. She looked just as she had in the photo I'd seen. She had the same Rubenesque body, the same pale freckled skin, the same hazel eyes and raven hair, the same beautiful round face, the same reddish birthmark. But unlike in the photo, she wasn't trying to hide the birthmark with a sweep of her hair. She had her hair brushed back so I could see it. And then they kiss. There were a bunch of scenes earlier in the book, I remember this, where she was crazy insecure about her appearance. And then when they finally meet... Oh, man, it's at the very end, too. Or is this just the chapter? Oh, no, this is genuinely the very, 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 very end. Literally, she is the trophy. That's literally the end. It's the very end. The final, like, victory of the main character is, and you met the girl, and she's not ugly. She was insecure about her appearance, but it's just because she's a stupid woman. Her only physical flaw was the fact that she had round, soft hips and a birthmark that makes her look cool. In the second one, he's weird to a trans girl? No way. You're telling me that, like, a misogynistic, geeky white guy with weird, insincere fantasies about, like, women being powerful, but in reality they're being sublimated, and, like, who thinks he's progressive and includes queer people by wanting to make a film called Dungeons and Drag Queens? You're telling me that guy might have a weird feeling about trans women? That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I found the first use of Rubenesque in the book. You guys are really doing some detective work for me to further my hatred of Gen X. Manning Muckout, she wrote with an endearing, intelligent voice. Her entries, Artemis's entries, were filled with self-deprecating humor and witty, sardonic asides. Me, when I want to, like... I don't know. Me, when I want to die. Witty, sardonic asides. In addition to posting her often hysterical interpretations of passages in the almanac. We love to show, don't tell, don't we, folks? Here's like 15 synonyms for she writes funny, but instead of showing any of the funny writing, we're just going to be like, yeah, man, look at how good she is at it. It probably goes without saying, I had a massive cyber crush on Artemis. Terms people are using in the future. She occasionally posts screenshots of her raven-haired avatar, and I sometimes, always, save them to a folder on my hard drive. This is a normal thing to do. Saving images of the VR chat model. Like, okay. Her avatar had a pretty face, but it wasn't unnaturally perfect. In the Oasis, that's VR chat, You got used to seeing freakishly beautiful faces on everyone, but Artemis's features didn't look as though they'd been selected from a beauty drop-down menu in some avatar creation template. Her face had the look of a real person's, as if her true features had been scanned in and mapped onto her avatar. Big hazel eyes, rounded cheekbones, a pointy chin, and a perpetual smirk. Haha, because she's like Buffy, you know? I found her unbearably attractive. She's not like all these other fake, hot, blonde, big titty, lip filler bitches. Dude, if this book came out a little bit later, you have any idea how many references he would have made to the Kardashian body type? Do you have any idea? It would have been like page 1 and then every page after that. All these other girls with their big fake asses, their Instagram Kardashian bodies, but not like my girl, who's also very beautiful and has, like, you know, rounded, sexually exaggerated features, but in a way that I consider more real. Artemis's body was also somewhat unusual. In the Oasis, you usually saw one of 2 body shapes in female avatars. The absurdly thin yet wildly popular supermodel frame, or the top-heavy, wasp-waisted porn starlet physique. That's so true, dude. That's so true. In VR chat, all the people with feminine avatars always just look like skinny, waifish supermodels. That's definitely how people depict themselves online. There's no creativity. Most women are just stupid hoes, you know? When they go online, they're like, ooh, I want to look like Paris Hilton. I bet you that's the person that this guy has in mind. Paris Hilton. I bet you. I'm almost 100% positive that when he thinks of, like, oh, what would a woman do when given a beauty, like a beauty tool, like self-avatar creation thing? It's like, oh, they want to look like Paris Hilton. But Artemis's frame was short and Rubenesque. All curves. That's great, dude. Anyway, in case you're wondering why Gen X is the cutoff line for people being weirdly right-wing, this is probably the reason why. That was agonizing. Weird trans and non-binary stuff from the second one. Man, are you really pulling me back in? I'm a little bit curious, though. I'm a little bit curious. Please explain Rubenesque. What the fuck does it mean? I'm sorry. You must have mistaken one website for another. This is VGG. You were looking for Google. You can just Google a word and find out what it means. It takes less time than asking me because you can just type in Rubenesque rather than the, like, additional syntax around the word that would convey to me that you're asking for its definition. Ready Player 2, written by this guy. Jesus Christ, it looks like he's hypnotizing you. It looks like he's trying to mentally compel you to come into his DeLorean so he can do hand stuff over your clothes while you're too nervous to say no. That's great. In one passage from the novel, the protagonist, Wade Watts, spies on another player, Lohengrin, who is also part... I love how he keeps doing this. He keeps doing leet speak in the fucking character names in the future, who is also part of the virtual reality world. But while rummaging through private information about Lohengrin, Watts finds out she's a transgender person named Skylar Castillo Adkins. The discovery, Watts says, comes as a surprise. Okay, I guess that's fine. I guess I'd also be surprised if someone turned out to be trans and I didn't expect it. It's not, like, the most common attribute, except on VGG, or Twitter, or the left in general. Her school records include a scan of her birth certificate. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, wait, this is the prose of the book, which revealed another surprise. Klein writes from the first-person perspective of his hero. She'd been DMAB, designated male at birth. That's what trans woman... Okay. Discovering this minor detail didn't send me spiraling into a sexual identity crisis the way it probably would have made me back when I was younger. Oh no! What? What does that even mean? What is it with cis people and being like, haha, if I had found out about trans people when I was young, I probably would have been one of them. Why? I wouldn't. Tell me about trans people. I'm a different kind of beast. You throw me to the wolves, I come back pregnant. You tell me about trans people when I'm 8, and I'm like, people would want to be girls? That's retarded. Haha. Do you have any more cookies? That's me. I thought he meant it would have been it would have made him, like, scared he's gay or something. Oh, okay. That's very woke of him, you know? Unlike those other, like, peasant-brained males who would think, whoa, I'm gay, I did not think I was gay. I stared at the transgender woman who was born a man and noted her feminine features. Yup, those prominent breasts and wide hips. This person may have been born a male, but anyone who thinks they're gay for finding her attractive, you've got to be crazy. I'm probably like ripping directly from the book, right? I'm probably like, I'm like pulling threads from the weave. I'm like, that has to be kind of on the mark, right? As creepy as the moment already is, given the characters violated someone else's privacy. I don't think in like a story about investigating people in a big corporate conspiracy, it's probably not that creepy to like violate people's privacy in the narrative context of the story. Like if you're like, I'm sure there's a narrative explanation for this that isn't just like, oh, he's transvestigating or whatever. But okay, wait, hold on a second. From the book, quote, I'd experienced sex with a woman while being another woman, and sex with men as both a woman and man, Watts thinks to himself. I'd done playback of different flavors of straight and gay and non-binary sex just out of pure curiosity and come away with the same realization that most Oni users come away with. Passion was passion and love was love, regardless of the participants or what sort of body they were assigned at birth. That's nice. Well, I guess it's well-intentioned. Maybe. I don't know. The 3 kinds of sex, gay, straight, and non-binary. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. How does one have non-binary sex? Okay, take the mind of like your average normie. What the fuck do you think the alternative is to gay and straight sex? If you're a cis guy and you're fucking an AFAB non-binary person, is that gay or straight? Or like, I think it makes sense that your average person would just say, oh, it's like non-binary sex, question mark. Probably should have run that by like a cultural advisor though, like Twitter, before publishing it. I don't know. Not just queer. A lot of people don't like the use of the term queer, you know? Everything's gay is the thing. And if you're doing straight sex right, it should also be gay. If you're having straight sex in a straight way, you're... straight sex in a straight way is no foreplay lasting 4.5 minutes than asking the woman if she came afterwards. Okay? Don't you have gay sex in a straight way? Yes, because I hate men. And if I'm having sex with a man, I don't want them to have fun. The book counts as retrofuturism with all the late speak. Yeah, but it's not self-aware, is the problem. It's not like acknowledging that they're pulling from a specific... In my experience, most people who don't like queer are either old enough to have it used as a slur against them. Can I be real? If you're an older gay and you don't like the term queer because you associate it with, like, the mistreatment of your past, future's now, Grandpa. Sorry. You have to get over it. I actually mean it. The cultural power that queer people had back in the 1980s, 90s, whatever, is nothing, is peanuts compared to the modern cultural power queer people have. Nowadays, we're tripping over gay people everywhere. I get it, you survived the 80s. I'm proud of you, genuinely. But be real here, don't like hold back the fucking wave. Don't hold back the momentum because of your childhood experiences, right? Like, this isn't meant to be disrespectful to the queer elder, like what you suffered through or anything. Just, you have to acknowledge, we can't gatekeep linguistic use behind the expectations of the oldest members of any demographic who's ever been maligned by that language, you know? I mean, people don't even use queer as an insult anymore. Like, at all. When was the last time you heard that?